We are Monday and everything is red except for silver. Is silver about to break out? Are we going to see further highs for silver? And was my machine prediction wrong? I mean, I made a prediction a few days ago that silver would sort of max out at $27, but we saw higher than $27 overnight. So let's find out what's happening with silver. I wanted to make this video today because there's something when you look at silver today. I don't know if I can draw a circle, but anyways, you can see that around this 2620 level, right, of silver, this candlestick, and this sort of red candlestick before that. This is a textbook pattern. Like, you rarely see such nice looking textbook patterns. But this is a textbook pattern, and this is called a bullish engulfing pattern, where you have a shorter sort of a candlestick of that is somewhat where it opened higher and closed lower, and the upcoming one where it's opening lower and closing higher, and the closing higher one is of course being much higher. It opened lower than yesterday, and then it's going to close above, and it looks like, you know, it's called a bullish engulfing pattern. This is a textbook pattern. Sometimes after this you do get a serious breakout, and I put the 50-day moving average before here, and the last time we saw something like that was somewhere around the 12th of May, right? At the start, we had this sort of like, you know, there's some resistance. You see this little red pattern here. Then you start seeing green, 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 and then boom, it goes up. Same here. We had this similar pattern here. Does it guarantee that you're going to get another strong upside? Not all the time, but here's what I have to say. I've been looking at sort of I've been tuning my machine learning program. There's a lot of upward pressure for silver. The silver market is small, so as long as there's like a little bit of upward pressure, it can go on quite a strong bull run. I know I said like the machine learning program believes that it should be around $26. Maybe, but it also indicates that because there's quite actually growth in the long term, it does believe it should be positive somewhat and trending upwards in the long term. What does the machine learning program predict? Well, the machine learning program predicts that silver should be long term. You should look at around 5 to 6%. I would say 5%, 4.5% in terms of gains. However, you know, it's not a crystal ball. It cannot tell the future. I also made one for Bitcoin. It does predict quite strong upside. There's a few reasons why I believe, you know, there's a lot of things going for silver and gold. You know, I also have gold out here. We might see a bullish pattern develop here. If we don't see it today, we might see it tomorrow, you know, but there's a strong reason why I think this is happening. One, we're currently seeing a strong dollar, and despite seeing the strong dollar, I'm going to just put in this trading view, Swiss franc. Let's see, Swiss franc to dollar, USD Swiss franc Forex eyes. Today, the dollar gained. And you're like, yeah, but you know, the dollar gained a lot during the day. And it gained something that you usually don't see for the dollar. And quite a few events happen. For one, the United Kingdom has a new strain of the current problem that's affecting everybody, and they're going into shutdown, and countries are closing their borders to the United Kingdom, which is problematic. And there's been a market sell-off because of that news. Now, that news and the overall market sell-off means that people are selling off assets and are actually picking up dollars. Not so much in the UK, but there's a UK pound sell-off, so they're selling off pounds And when you sell at pounds, typically the most bought currency in the transaction is actually dollars. And so the US dollar was getting stronger. There was an overall market sell-off because of a stronger dollar. People start selling off their assets too. And then the dollar went up. And then you could see that in the exchange rate relative to the Swiss franc. And also because the Swiss National Bank is doing foreign currency interventions continuously, it all compounded, and and the dollar just like shot up, by almost 1%, 2%. That's something that typically never happens in a forex market. It's like very rare for such a sudden movement. Usually, it's something quite extreme happen. Like I think here it was the election, and in this case, what we saw today was that we didn't see a sell-off of gold, which is good because you have to imagine the dollar pretty much gained relative to all sorts of currencies, right? Let's see, do I have a dollar index? Japanese yen? Nope, I don't have a dollar index. But gained relative to a lot of currencies, it gained like anywhere between 1 to 2%. And usually when that happens, you do see a sell-off of gold, but we didn't see that. Gold is pretty much flat today. It did come off like the highs at the 1900 levels, but which we saw over the weekend, but it did come down a little bit because of a strong dollar, but it's still not a massive sell-off compared to where it was yesterday and the beginning of the week. It's pretty much just flat despite the current events, which I take as a really good sign, because what is happening right now is it's a negative event and it's actually not leading to a gold sell-off, which means that gold has a lot of strength going for it. And one of the reasons why I think there's a lot of strength going for gold is this, let's see, St. Louis Fred, demand deposits. There's a shot up of demand deposits and M1 money stock. And overall M1 money stock, and there's continuous printing of the US dollar, and we're going to see even more M1, which means that there's just so much money flowing in the system. It's really not possible that there's no upward pressure for gold and precious metals. We're seeing this more with silver. I'm just looking at it and I can see the bullish pattern building up in front of my eyes. I think this is partially because people are scared that, there might be some sort of shortage, but there is also a currency crisis and it's compounded all into it. Now, this going up could also be explained by something else. I was looking at a lot of stock analysts and what stocks are performing well. Well, it's typically the tech stocks, the EVs, your all sorts of technology manufacturers, and things like Peloton, stay at home, battery, green technology. All these stocks are doing well. And what do all those companies use? Well, for a lot of the battery technology, PCBs, they use silver, and to a certain extent gold, but mainly silver. So that could be something that's driving this movement upwards. And there's some speculative forces that believe that there will be a much bigger demand for silver in the future, in the coming years. Now, I'll put it out there. This is my opinion. Don't trade on my opinion. Make your own judgment. Also, I'm not a financial advisor or anything. Dude on YouTube who someone shows his hands, but I think I'm cautiously bullish for silver, but I just don't know if it's going to go to some of these guys online are saying $40 silver, $50. So I just don't think it's really going to go that high. I do think that it's going to trend upwards. How far trending upwards will depend on the amount of time, If you take 30 years stacking of silver, of course silver is going to be more. By the time you're 30, by then, by the time you're 60 or 80, it's obvious with inflation and the rate that we're printing money. If we're still using the dollar, then yeah, silver is going to go higher. Do I think the short term that you should be buying more silver or less silver, back up the truck? I never tell people to back up the truck. Here's how I've been buying, right? I'll let you know how I have exactly been buying. I've been buying pretty much, I've been buying gold over the last few days, and it's been treating me quite well because gold I don't pay taxes on because I'm in Switzerland. I don't have capital gains on it, and there's very little transaction fees was actually buying physical gold in Switzerland. I'm able to find gold sovereigns at spot. They pretty much $1 above spot for physical gold, and that's pretty good for sub 1 ounce gold. And pretty much I've been buying on the dips. I've bought gold around here, around here, around here, and then a little bit when it was coming up around here at 1840 something, right? And I've been buying gold also as it was coming down from here. Do I think that gold can go further upwards? I think there could be, it's a space to watch, right? But right now I'm reading that there's a lot of support and a lot of strength in gold despite the current situation. I think there is even more strength in silver. Silver seems to be doing everything opposite to the current situation. Any negative news that comes for the overall economy, silver seems to be going up. And I think it's trading in pair with EV and also technology stocks. So that could be, there could be a correlation in that sense, because I've been looking also at like the S&P 500, and what seems to be a sort of a major contributing factor in the S&P 500 is the direction and the movement of silver. I'm like, wait, why is silver playing such a big role in the moving of the direction of the S&P 500? And now I think about it, it could be because silver has a large role to play for EVs. And that's a major, like, you know, Tesla's getting included into the S&P 500. So most likely a lot of like the, you know, the exciting stocks that are volatile in the stock market, you know, they do have a relationship with silver. So that could be one of the relationships that exist. Now, I also made a few other things like a Bitcoin predictor, and yeah, like I said before, you know, Bitcoin is a risk-on asset. Like, people like to think that Bitcoin trades against the stock market, but Bitcoin, at least from what I've seen in how it's behaving, it trades in the same direction as the stock market. And when I did the Bitcoin sort of tool, it didn't seem to be, to say the contrary, it seemed to actually work in tandem with the stock market. And also, I think when I did the machine learning program for the S&P 500, I was building up an algorithm. I mean, extending the algorithm to different markets. It did signal some weakness in the S&P 500 for at least on Friday. It said that, you know, like long term probably up, but short term it has a lot of how do you say it, if there's any negative event, it will see somewhat of a downturn. And that's what we saw, like one negative news and it just like topples everything over. It's going on the downward trend for now. It could go back up. Don't trade on anything I say. Like I put this warning out there, you know, it's you have to make your own judgment. It's your money. And I always tell people, be careful. Don't back up the truck. Don't go all Wall Street bets and meme lord into the markets. Just don't do such things. And it's not a casino. Don't play the casino, is it? Be very careful. Save money. You know, I save money. I save a lot of money. I actually save over 40% of my income. I actually don't spend very much. Anyways, yeah, it's terrible for the economy, but hey, trying to prepare for these type of situations, you kind of need to have some reserves. Anyways, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Click the like button if you enjoyed it, and it helps me out a lot. Subscribe for the frequent content and the bell notification button, so you can stay up to date when new content comes out. Sometimes I just release sometimes release unscheduled videos when I discover some things that I think are quite urgent. Like last night I was looking at, you know, this chart, and I was looking at what was coming out of my machine learning program in terms of what it was making as predictions for the midterm, and I was seeing quite a lot of weakness in the markets. You know, I wasn't planning on doing video because I was quite tired, but I did. So Yeah, if you were the third, I think there was like only 9 views last night. So yeah, if you're the 9 guys that saw the video and you were alert this morning, good for you. Thank you very much for watching. Dave out.